Welcome to Focus on B, the video series where I spent about 20 or so minutes playing and talking about a game that I've got some thoughts on. I've been playing it, maybe I've been thinking about it. This is Grand Theft Auto 2, the game right before the absolute cultural explosion that was GTA 3 in 2001 that I've done a video on. And, wow. It's a top-down game, and... okay, top-down games are the kind of thing where I get it. I get why I'd want to play a game like this. And there are some examples that are to overcome my psychological disdain for this kind of game. Okay, so basically, whenever I play a game that's top-down, I feel like someone is like holding the top of my head and squeezing it really hard, if that makes sense. And I know it's like weirdly specific, but it's true. Like, it feels kind of bad and weird because the whole time you can never see the horizon. I think not being able to see a horizon in a game can be very disorienting, and it genuinely makes the game kind of hard to look at. Now, there are some games that are able to sort of avoid this. Now, for whatever reason, and I don't even know what it really is, Hotline Miami doesn't do that for me. I don't really mind playing Hotline Miami for extended periods of time, despite the camera sway, despite the colors, despite the fucking acid everything, right? Oh, you bastard. I'm gonna fucking catch a taxi and kill you, bitch. Okay, it's gotta go full GTA mode. Actually, no, I'm just gonna be doing the missions because it gives me something to do. Although what I find interesting about this game in particular is its structure is very different to that of, you know, I guess modern GTA. As in, you see that money counter, you know, 21 grand right now? Technically speaking, if I remember correctly, you don't actually have to do missions. They're just a good way to get money quickly. But I believe that there's just, it's kind of an arcade type game, this, where it's high score based, so to speak. The gray markers will always point to the nearest Zamatza. Why do I assume they have that kind of accent? I don't know. I love the weird claymation characters the game has. They're kind of ugly as shit, but I don't know, they're appealing in a way. They're fitting for this game's art direction. Even though for some reason, like, it's weird, like in-game there's these claymation heads, but out of the game you have these real actors. So that's a bit of a clash. I feel like, I mean, to be fair though, I imagine they probably didn't have it in their budget to make full claymation animations for this game though. Dude, imagine like a modern GTA game with claymation. Who am I kidding? There's probably like mods that do that, you know, that cut the frame rate. Well, you can do that without mods, but like that not only cut the frame rate but change the character designs and make it look like claymation. So that's not really necessary. At this point, Rockstar Games don't even have to be making like any new games, even though I think they are, because there's enough mods for all the GTAs that you get like 50 new games out of them. You know what I mean? Just like how there doesn't need to be any new Doom games. We can just keep modding the first one and Doom 2, and like you just get infinite games out of that. That's where the pain phone is. Cool, we're gonna go ahead and do something like that. The respect mechanic is an interesting one because it rewards you for basically being a GTA character, just running around and killing people, but it adds an element of thought to that, because you can't just be going around killing whoever. You actually have to go out of your way to know who you want to work with, and, you know, not kill them exactly, or specifically target the people you want to run with are especially against. You know what I mean? So, for example, right now I'm working for, I think the Zaibatsu, or the I don't fucking know. I know I'm not working for the Loonies, that's for sure. Those guys are the most distinct. But I can't tell if I'm working for the Yakuza or the Zaibatsu right now, honestly. I don't really... Oh, gee, I wonder which one it could be based on this big yellow Z on the fucking... Yeah, okay, I guess I'm a bit unobservant sometimes, but that's okay, though. So back to the whole top-down thing. I find this game an incredible timepiece because it was able to be successful, at least moderately so, not only in a time when 3D was taking over, and this game... It is 3D, technically, but it doesn't really play like a 3D game, so to speak. You know, it's a top-down game. Theoretically, this could have been possible on the Super Nintendo. There's actually a lot of Super Nintendo games that do stuff like this. even within other genres. Like I think Contra Free had those kind of levels. And so it's pretty incredible that this game not only stood out at the time, you know, mainly because of its content and its free roaming nature, and if you think about it, I guess it has aged significantly better than something that would a lot of people at the, you know, nowadays at least, if you were to think of like GTA type games before GTA itself and disregarding the actual GTAs of the time, you would probably talk about something like Body Harvest, which happens to also be made by DMA Design, funnily enough. The thing is though, that's a 3D open world N64 game. What does that mean? It runs kind of like shit and it doesn't look amazing, and I can overlook the visuals. I don't really care. I mean, I play PS1 games on a regular basis, for fuck's sake. Use the horn, Gecko. He doesn't know it's you. Shit. What's the horn? Buttons. Push button. Okay, that worked. I didn't hear a horn, but I pushed a button and now it works. Cool. Take Shady to the Zaibatsu Car Crusher in North. What the fuck? We gonna kill him? Okay. No, I don't know. I don't pay attention to the plot, but what I do know is that in a weird way, this game is actually held up well and also not well. It's held up badly because it's a top-down game, and to me, they're inherently an element of, not only is it dated, right? Because they only did it this way because actually having it be full 3D on the PS1 would have, I mean, okay, Driver happened, but maybe at the time Rockstar weren't quite as experienced, at least experienced enough in developing to, well, they weren't called Rockstar at that point, but you know what I mean, to be able to develop a game like that. I mean, I remember, like, isn't it common knowledge that the original, I mean, not everyone knows, the original GTA happened because of a bug. And the thing is, it's not just that, they barely got the fucking game to work. That's the thing. Like, shit just kept breaking right up until the end of development. It's surprised the game didn't end up just being a complete mess, you know? And that kind of tells me that maybe they just weren't super comfortable with making games to begin with. So imagine them trying their hand at a full 3D type. Yeah, that would have been a fucking disaster. So in a way, this game has actually survived, sort of, thanks to that fact. And the fact that, you know, at the time, even the best of the best would not have been able to pull off that great of a game of, you know, this sort of way, you know, like a open world action GTA type game, at least not on consoles. On PC, I mean, it's totally possible, actually, you know? Like, the technology was already there on PC. I can't really think of many... Wait a second, what about Deus Ex? Well, is Deus... Actually, I have no idea. Is Deus Ex open world? Or does it have, like, these confined areas which are just large enough to feel open world? I've never really known about that. I've never been interested in those games in the slightest, like at all. I've never given a shit about Deus Ex, to be honest. I understand that it was probably a pretty big deal when it came out, and some games are better than others in the series from what I have seen as far as reviews go. There were some like mobile games that ended up on PC, and it's just like, don't do that, guys. Oh, jeez, and that was before it was commonplace, you know, because nowadays, like, fucking every game is like that. Okay, not quite, but still, alarmingly so. But back then, it was like, also, did I just fucking hit a cop without the game giving me a wanted level? Yeah, this game can be quite forgiving in some ways. It's quite interesting. And I think that the connection, funnily enough, because of the arcade nature of this game and the whole scoring system, GTA, can I collect that? That made a sound. Cool. I don't know what that did, but I collected it, and it's the game's icon. Because of the nature of this game with the score system, I feel that it actually has a stronger link, gameplay and narrative-wise. Like, the two are married more closely than any of the future games. Because, honestly, when it comes to GTAs past this point, you only really want to be doing the missions to actually progress, and the open world itself is more of just a vessel for the missions to happen within. But in reality, if they made it just so you can just go from mission to mission to mission, just fast traveling, it wouldn't really have made much of a difference. I mean, it probably wouldn't have helped the immersion factor for sure and feeling like you're really there. But fundamentally, if you disregard the free roaming and do whatever the fuck you want, it would actually not take away too much from the game. Whereas here, you want that. You want to just cause havoc on your way to missions to add to your score. That way you can actually further your progress even if you're not directly progressing. I think that's really clever. Of course, with the way that the future games are structured, that just simply wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work because you need to be completing the missions. Really, the amount of money you have in future GTAs is kind of irrelevant. Well, it isn't irrelevant because there are some missions where you need to have a certain amount before the game lets you play them, right? Some story reasons, like, oh, you got to be able to pay for this bomb or some shit. You got to be able to pay for this thing, right? So I kind of get that. Okay, Jumbo, deliver the explosives by hand to Pizza Cake. And don't forget to run away. Oh, no shit. It's a fucking explosive. I think I'm going to sit there and look at it because I'm a cool guy who doesn't look at explosions. Actually, I'll have no choice but to look at the explosions because I'm in a top-down... What the fuck? Because I'm in a top-down game. There's been some debate as to, like, where this game takes place chronologically. Because, like, it kind of... Some people think it feels in a, like, sort of futuristic, despite the fact that the cars are... They're very 1960s. Supposedly this game takes place in 2013 or something. That's that's what I've heard. Which is funny because, I mean, yeah, okay, back then that would have been like 14 years into the future. Well, no, yeah, this game released in 99, but I think the Dreamcast version was 2000. I'm not exactly sure. Doesn't matter. We got 5 seconds before the dynamite blows. Why have I given them that kind of voice? Fuck, get away, you moron. Okay, doesn't matter. So much for those shitty explosives. Wait, a Pizza Cake delivery truck is on its way. Destroy that instead. I love that because it kind of foreshadows how every GTA mission in the future would just be do a thing. Oh no, doing thing went wrong. Do other thing. Here, this is like, I think this is an exception. I'm pretty sure that most of the missions in this game don't do that. But anyway, so what was I talking about with the whole, like, top-down thing, and not to beat a dead horse, really. I think it's definitely possible to make a top-down game work well, even in a modern context, even in the modern day. Especially nowadays, actually, with the, 20 billion K, the resolutions we can be running at. You can just zoom the game out way to shit, and it'll look, it won't look amazing, but it'll definitely be more playable. Like, imagine this with, double the zoom. There's probably mods for the PC version. How do I shoot? Shit. Oh, okay, that's how I shoot. There's definitely mods for the PC version to do that, right? I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not playing the PC version right now. I'm playing the PS1 version. Oh, fuck. Because I like playing the version that most people are likely to play, and also because it feels like the most... Well, no, the definitive... Oh, no, I've been fucking wested. Oh, that was really smooth. Did you see that? I just zoomed into my guy and zoomed back out. That was pretty sick, actually. Except that, did I lose... Oh, wait, no. I think I just... There's an X4 next to my score. Are those my lives? I think it was X5 before I died, so I think this game has a live system. Especially considering that I haven't lost any progress, because I know that you have to... And the game contextualizes it, you have to go to a church and pay a bunch of money, and you save your soul, so to speak, to save your game, right? Which I always found to be a really interesting way to contextualize saving a game. So I imagine that I just have more extra lives, and wow, imagine that, like, a Grand Theft Auto game with lives. That's such a bizarre concept to me, and you know what's weird? That the culture shock... Because I grew up playing GTA Vice City, right? You'd think that the culture shock of me playing this game right now would actually be... Can you give me an actual fucking mission? You'd think it would be much greater, but the truth is that... I don't know, I guess I've gotten okay at, like, adapting to different kinds of games that are very different to what I'm used to, even if I have my preferences. Like, I can imagine playing this for much longer. I'm probably not going to play it for that much longer. But again, it's... Funnily enough, though, the camera here is actually more zoomed out than something like Hotline Miami. And yet I still don't... I think you know what it is? I know what it is. Because Hotline Miami is a fully pixel art flat-looking game. As in, it's totally 2D, and it's not even pretending to have any amount of perspective or depth. Whereas here... You can clearly tell that the buildings are rendered in 3D. Like, it's a real-time 3D rendered game with a bunch of sprites to populate the world, because, I mean, you think the fucking PS1 can handle 3D models populating this world? No. And I think that might be part of it. But it makes me wonder, would a fully, totally... That's just the tutorial one. Would a fully, totally flat version of this feel better? I can definitely say... that Retro City Rampage I used to play that game a lot. Retro City Rampage doesn't quite have that crushed in feeling like this game has, and that's because it's actually not top down. It kind of cheats. That game is, I think it's like it's isometric, but from like a side perspective. It's not like Sonic 3D Blast isometric. It's not like Age of Empires isometric. It's like a 2D game, but it looks like you're looking at it kind of like a weird angle in 2D, but it's also not fully, it's 2D visually, I mean. But, you know, everything's drawn like, this doesn't work. Why do you keep sending me here, fucker? This is just like the tutorial. And just as long as you got enough respect. Respect. Ha. Respect. Remember, respect is everything. I do love that. I love how this game has like this cartoony-ass announcer who for some reason doesn't show up in this version. I think he's only in the PC and or Dreamcast version. And I find it really interesting how, I guess, well, is the Dreamcast really not powerful enough to handle both times of day? Because if you didn't know, in the PC version, you can play the game both at daytime and at night. I think it defaults to night. And the game looks really nice at night, by the way. I think it has a really nice aesthetic. But in this version, as you can see, it's constantly daytime, which I do think is better, actually, for playability. Whereas, oh, this is just another tutorial one, right? Oh, for fuck's sake, why'd you make me do that, you dick? No, fuck you, cop. Oh, busted. Damn it. What do I do now? Oh, you're gonna... Ah, I find that pretty funny, actually. They actually take you to a station and they kick you out. You want Yakuza, respect you, better... Oh my... Oh, no, wait a second. Is the game doing English? I just realized this game is doing English. Oh, I probably shouldn't... That's a little bit... That's age kind of... Okay, let's not do that. But it's 1999. Shut up. Where was I? Yeah, so anyways, yeah, River City Rampage, Retro City Rampage is pretty cool. This game actually, I don't fucking know. Can I even say that I actually totally love this game? No, I don't love it, but I do appreciate it for what it is, because it's taking the formula of the original GTA and bringing it to what I believe is a logical conclusion. It polishes everything. It looks better. It sounds better. Do I've turned the music off? Not because of copyright, because I don't think a lot of the music in this game is copyrighted. It's actually because of the... Holy shit, this car is awesome. It's so fast. It's actually because of the radio hosts. I don't want them talking over me. Go figure. Or I don't want to have to talk over them. Whatever. What else? It controls a bit better. You can actually outrun the cops more. I still don't... I really hate the fact that it constantly points towards the ones that don't work. You have to drive all around the map to find the telephone booths that you can actually use to progress the missions forward. So you know what I'm just going to do? I think at this point in the video, there's not enough time for me to do any real missions. Let's just fucking GTA, you know what I mean? Let's just run around, running people over, because that's funny. Let's see what kind of rampage we can cause, you know what I mean? Let's just start running people over. Let's go ahead and find a cop car and just antagonize him. And are you... Austin Powers, come on, there you go. Let's go ahead and just antagonize a cop car, see what happens. Because that really is the essence of the Grand Theft Auto games, and in this game, unlike future games, this is actually beneficial to me. As in, I'm getting more money to progress wherever it is I'm trying to progress to, you know, like beating the stages, because that's the thing, these levels, these games used to be... I mean, they eventually became split up into different areas as well, but what I mean is you have these different maps that you can explore that you have to unlock by achieving a set score. So it's really cool how this game has like one foot in arcade score-based design and another foot in a more progressive mission-based design. And you don't really see that much all that often. It's like you will still see score-based games. Those will always be around. And you definitely see a bunch of mission-based games and very story-driven games. But it's really cool to see a hybrid of that. Maybe I should try developing a game that marries those two concepts in a way that works. And I think it works quite well here, although it's pretty tricky to rack up the points, you know, at least enough of them in a reasonable time to get to that point where you can just progress anyway, you know what I mean? But yeah, fuck it, let's just see what kind of carnage we can cause in a GTA game. Go figure. Oh, fuck, no, bastard, and I've been busted. Again, oh boy, so GTA 2, it's cool. This game is cool, has a really great sense of style. If I had the radio stations enabled, it would be even cooler, although I turned them off for the sake of the video, but, you know, when you play with them, This game just absolutely oozes vibe. It has this. It feels dark, but goofy as shit at the same time, and I really love that about this game. But the first game just kind of didn't have much of a style because we were just sort of figuring out how to do things. GTA 3 is very dark. GTA Vice City it has moments of darkness, but I feel like it's a little more lighthearted. San Andreas has a good balance between everything, and then 4 was quite dark, and 5 went back in a little more lighthearted direction, right? So I think this game kind of feels tonally more in line with GTA 5 in a weird way, right? Because it's not super dark, but it kind of has a bit of an edge to it at times. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. Honestly, GTA 5 doesn't have almost any edge at all. Like, it really doesn't. But maybe that's because I'm jaded. I'm not sure. What the hell is this? Kill Frenzy? Oh, fuck yeah. Killing random people. Go. What is this? Oh, it's a flamethrower. That's how we used to depict the flamethrowers graphically. Come on, you could do better than that. There's better looking flamethrowers in 2D games from this time. Just some fucking yellow lines. Come on, DMA. What do you mean this is like your second game ever and you were still learning how to make games? That's not an excuse at all. I mean, I guess it would be. I don't know. But basically, yeah. So, do I love this game like to death? No. Do I respect it, actually? Oh, respect is everything. Well, yeah, I would say I respect it quite a bit. I think it's a really cool logical conclusion to this format of the game. I mean, it can be modernized further, of course. You know, I'm surprised no one's trying to make a proper modern, like, reinterpretation of this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar wouldn't even care about that. They're too busy with GTA Online and actually making GTA 6 now. I can't believe it's actually happening. Burn him! Yes, he turns into a skeleton. And there's probably, like, tons of games that are basically just this, but modern anyway, that I probably haven't even heard of. So yeah, it's just because you don't really get these kind of logical conclusions too often, either because the original game doesn't perform as well, or because the developers are too eager to go in an alternate direction, you know what I mean? So it's kind of rare to get these direct sequels that are just straight up improvements and not just copy-paste, but like actually build upon what you already had. It's really cool. So I think GTA 2 is a cool game. I don't adore it, but I like it to at least enough of an extent to play it from time to time. It's a time-to-time kind of game, right? You just jump in, do some shit, do some missions, shoot some guys, and have the game drop frames like a motherfucker because it's PS1, go figure. 54. I actually tried to like sound cohesive, whereas like in the future games, they just kind of made random noises. Like I swear, because like when I played Vice City as a kid, and even now, it's like you can't understand what the fuck the cop chatter is supposed to be. Whereas here, like you can actually hear them call out the exact place where you are, which I think is a really nice touch, especially for its time, right? So anyway, this has been Focus on B, the video series where I spent about 20 or so minutes, in this case almost 24 minutes, playing and talking about a game that I've been thinking about, that I've been playing a little bit of, maybe, and this has been GTA 2. Quite a decent game, actually. GTA 2, 1999, PS1, Dreamcast, and PC.